looking in good spirits. He's 1-3 in this matchup, unfortunately, and he has a negative record, 4-7.
Yeah, recently got slaughtered in GSL, losing to Rogue and Sue in straight sets.
Got a terrible, terrible group there, and you know, he's one of these players that is always good enough to make it into Codes, is always good enough to be fielded in Pro League, but he just does not get the results that Stats does. Yeah. 15-7, 2-2. The last few games he's played gives him that downwards purple arrow, but if you want to look at the overall picture, it's a, you know, it's a 6-0 vote for the casters for Stats.
Yeah, it's safe. It's a pretty safe bet. You know, Stats, he was such a powerhouse. He's having a bit of trouble these days, but he's just got that experience and those results that how can you not back him?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, remember this is our last night, our last series of regular Pro League here. Stats meditating, getting ready for this Protoss vs. Protoss. Can Hurricane tie things up, or is KT Rolster going to take a 2-0 lead? Let's find out right now on Terraform. The top left for Samsung Galaxy Con, it's Hurricane.
For the bottom right for KT, it is Stats.
A tense one going into Terraform.
So from here,
I was just gonna say what the Spenu wants to avoid is that 3-1.
yeah, I was gonna say they got to avoid that 3-1. So they're hoping KT can knock this one out 3-0, or Samsung brings it to that ace match. That's what it all comes down to here. It's a scary situation. I hate to be.
It's funny because if you're Speno, you're like, all right, come on, Samsung, take this one. I want you to win, because if you win, you get through. But if you win, then you have to win like another game at least too. You know,
and that's pretty hard considering who's left over as well.
If you look at the lineups of today, it's like the scariest thing for Speno because the possibilities seem so real.
Ooh.
So this is kind of another graphical demonstration of what this means for Speno. It's like, okay, 1 down, 2 to go. They want that 3-0.
And that's it.
That's the cleanest way.
That's the cleanest, quickest way. Here we go. Starting off pretty normal, both sides. No surprise there. PvP takes a little while to get off the ground.
Oh, for sure. I'm going to take a look and see kind of how these players transition to the early game. I would expect to see a Stargate from one or both of them. Stylistically, neither of these players have a go-to opening. Whereas if you look at Hero, he loves his Blink Stalkers. You look at Myungshik, he loves his DTs. In best of ones, he really likes to, you know, aggressively use Phoenixes in the matchup.
Well, do you think either of these players would be incredibly aggressive? Sweden?
Well, Sweden for Flash, and Wet is DNI, DHY. We'll see if we see Flash later in that 4th match. But what were you asking me? I'm sorry, I forgot the question.
How aggressive do you think? Do you think Hurricane's going to be the aggressor here? Do you think he's going to try and take a chance?
Yes. I love life in French there. And O Gaming TV, Rising Baguette.
I love O Gaming.
Yeah, me too. They're great French coverage of these leagues that we do on SPL2015 as well as the GSL.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I love Funka.
Funk is awesome.
He's a good guy.
Justin developed the whole O Gaming staff. I've worked with them quite a few times. Always a great bunch of people, really friendly, hardworking. But let's see if he scouts the second gateway.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2 gates for both, but this is just a hidden gate, so you might get a bit stressed. You might be like, oh, where's that pylon? Are you doing proxy Stargate? But actually, it's just a safety build.
Yeah. I guess it won't change too much if they're doing exactly the same thing, but just that little bit of information that he's missing.
I think he's going to check.
Nope.
No, he doesn't check. Not enough Protosses are checking. This is becoming a much more common thing just to hide a pylon alone. I think he's more panicked of, oh, where's the other pylon? I got to go check for proxies rather than checking for anything else.
Yeah, just check around the map, try and find that proxy and get out as many stalkers as he can. It's going to be the same amount for both sides, though, so nothing should happen unless he's really out of position.
Yeah, both players have the basically exact same mothership core timing as well. So, nothing too crazy. It's all going to be about the micro and where they meet in the middle of the map. Oh, this is not a good situation for Stats without his second Stalker.
Yeah, he's going to have to wait for the rest of them to be coming out.
If he could actually draw those units away, he might be able to get a good scout with his Mothership Core, but it's not going to happen.
He's going to wrap around with his Mothership Core, but he's going to be careful because so many Stalkers are coming out.
Nexus coming up first here, 4 stats. Oh, look at this. Using the line of sight blocker. Going to be 3 Stalkers here to just the 1.
Oh, man.
Second one arrives. He's going to go for the Mothership Core, it looks like. Oh, a micro battle here using the line of sight blocker to his advantage, but overextending just a little bit here.
Yeah, not going to find much more here. Actually,
oh! Takes the win in this fight. This could actually be a clean fight. Could actually win it 3-0. Wow. The Mothership Core is coming back. That was crazy. He has a faster Nexus now as well.
Yeah, this is horrible. Sentry out as well.
He's got a pylon up on the high ground. 2 pylons up on the high ground here.
Oh, man.
For Hurricane.
Well,
Probe's coming up the line.
I don't know if it's going to be enough there. He can't force field the ramp.
And there's the double cancel, and this is starting to look really bad for Hurricane. Doing a forward warp in as well.
He's going to have to try and DPS down this Nexus, otherwise there's going to be a Mothership Core Nexus cannon available.
Yeah, it's at about 80% right now. 7 Stalkers to 3. The 2 Sentries is going to stop him from coming into the main base, but if he can kill this Nexus, he can make his own at home. Okay, he's going to go for the engagement. A great time warp here from Hurricane. There's a force, so he needs to lock those Stalkers down, and there he goes. And when that Nexus finishes, the Nexus cannon is going to come online, and it's almost ready. He needs to get out of here. Hurricane needs to back off. There's the Nexus cannon. He needs to leave.
Yeah, very nicely done there. Huge deflection from Stats, and he's stabilized in a big way. All he has to do from now is keep reinforcing his Stalkers, and he should be in a good place.
Yeah, he's just going to have such a better economy. And with these sentries here, there's no way he's breaking up the ramp. I'm not sure what Stats is, or rather what Hurricane's plan is with this Stargate.
I think he's almost all in.
Just going to try to use an Oracle to bust the ramp or try to harass?
I think it must be harassment in the main base while he tries to pick away at this Nexus. He does have that Stalker lead right now, but when this Immortal comes out, there's really no hope of him doing any more damage than that natural.
The Observer's following this army as well. A few more Stalkers. He could break this. The Nexus down to 828 hit points. Shields slowly regenning.
It's such a hard place to be. The Immortal's about to come out there.
All right, he needs a force field well. He needs a force field well here, and he does! Traps 4 Stalkers, and also blocks out the Zealots. I think that's probably just going to be too much here. There's the Immortal, and Hurricane's chances in this game have just faded away.
Yeah, way too much. Down 30 supply, down on base. He's going to look for some sort of way to come back with economic damage in the main base, and he could do a lot here.
Yeah, let's see. 2 Stalker warp in, though. He will kill a few probes, but it's not going to be enough. Good control here by Stats as well to push this back. The Nexus has been placed counterwise back at home. But already now with 2 Immortals, if he scouts this, he can just move across the map and end it. Hurricane doesn't even have a Mothership Core yet. He's just now making it.
Yeah, he's in a bad place. It's hard to say if Stats is going to try and end it now or simply just wait it out. He knows he has that entire base advantage from here. He knows he's got all the time in the world to make such an army that will crush whatever comes his way when the time comes.
Just connects his cannon this Oracle easily. Knock it away. Just leave 1 Stalker in the main, probably enough. 2's the safest, and that's what he goes for. I think his own Stargate, probably just for that 1 Phoenix to ensure safety. He knows the Nexus is late. You can see it with the Observer.
Yeah, he's seen everything he needs to see. He's going to see the tech in the main as well.
He's like, oh, okay. All I have to do is not screw up, and I've got this game.
Yeah, literally all I have to do is make an army and fully populate my natural. And from here, it should be pretty straightforward.
Twilight Council on the way. Maybe some Desperation DTs. I don't see a follow-up Blink being a good choice, especially with the Immortals already out here.
Yeah, just a little too late for that, right? If anything, it'd be Charge Lots.
Yeah, Charge could be a way.
Well, it's gonna help out with the army in the late game at least. But
his economy is just so weak. He can't even afford like a massive amount of Zealots to overwhelm.
Yeah, it's really for the future. I feel like it just must be DTs then, right?
He might try to go for like a snipe on the Observer with his Oracle and then try to win the game with DTs. There's only 1 Observer. It's not even in the right place currently. Let's wait and see. He's going to make that choice in just a second. The Twilight Council is finished. He's continuing Phoenix production.
Yeah.
I think he's going to hide the Dark Shrine right there.
Yeah, it looks like that might be the choice here. He's going to have enough. There it is. Yep, that's the last answer there. That's an act of desperation.
The cannon and the natural are going to make it even more difficult for this to actually do damage.
Yeah, if we're going to see 1 in the main as well, it's going to essentially do no damage.
Charge already on the way. Coming up here for Stats. Hurricane with a Warp Prism, I feel, is his best opportunity for damage. Warp Prism into the main. He's going for that snipe. Look at the Phoenix with the Oracle. He's going for the Observer snipe. He's trying to find 1 if he can. There's only one, though, and it's all the way on the other side of the map.
That's right. Just more and more production and tech being made for Stats. He's getting everything in place so he can go for that big kill. Gonna have Archons available in just a moment.
Warp Prism coming out. That's the best chance for damage, but a cannon in the main. And it's gonna make Hurricane very sad.
Oh, 6 more gateways on the way. So many.
He's ready to go for the kill. His observer and everything, he just continues to scout like, wow, you have nothing.
Yeah, you literally have nothing right now.
And he's probably even expecting DTs at this point. He's like, how do you have nothing? I mean, I know I was ahead earlier, but now I know I'm insanely ahead. And he's going to come over here and even verify further. You're just now adding up A. I'm just going to overwhelm you with Charge Zealots. He's going to go for the kill. We're going to see him warp in DTs at that pylon, then pick them up and drop in the main. See how much damage he can find. The Oracle!
Oh, so close.
15 health. Chops the third base. Was the Warp Prism spotted? He almost saw that, right? Just barely not, it looks like.
Yeah, just not.
If he can snipe down the cannon, this could actually do damage. Let's see. 3 DTs. If he snipes the cannon, this is his best bet.
I don't know.
On there, though.
And warping will occur in just a second of seeing that as well. And look at this move out. He wants to try and deny a third if he sees one. And maybe even just go for the kill from here.
Yep. All he needs is a 4 warping point. He's making 1. He's making 2. DT harass. Still not occurring. He doesn't know there's a cannon in the main, so he's looking for observers still with this Phoenix Oracle group.
Yeah, he doesn't see the army either, so where's the army now? He's actually got to be so careful he could get caught out with his army sitting in front of that natural.
Yeah, there's only 2 sentries here. Okay, there's the cannon. Does Stats react? Insta-warp in.
Oh, he still might get it there.
I think he will. There's an observer being chronoed right now. Mothership core will go down, but this is the engagement that Stats wants. This should be game-winning. If he force fields the ramp, this is a disaster.
Oh, man, so much damage.
He just has so much DPS that he doesn't even care about the Nexus. He's just going to take it out. We do see DT Warpins. Did he lose his observer? Where is it?
I think he might have.
He lost his observer.
He lost it, but does it actually matter at this point? The army's getting crushed.
I think it will start to. It doesn't yet, but it will in a second.
Well, I mean, he can lose his army. I think he can just repopulate at this point. It's simply too much damage.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely, Hurricane's best bet was to pull his army away while the DTs did damage instead of losing his army and hoping the DTs would save him.
Yeah, losing a base like that, down 2 bases in a mirror match, down half the supply, your army is gone. The harassment did nothing. Everything is just stacked up at this point.
Everything is terrible. He could make a cannon at this pylon. I wouldn't even blame him. 2 observers out now. He wants to wipe the rest of these units. It's now 3 base to 1, as you just said. And I like Hurricane's attempt. We've seen games won this way.
Yeah, it's rare, but man, it's best shot right at this kind of situation when you are so far behind. You got to take chances like this. Not going to be finding it this time around there. Not at this rate.
Now a cannon up at every base. Hard pressed to afford DTs to harass now is Hurricane. Still looking for observer snipes. Trying to get for one. Not going to happen. And now the Phoenix is dead. And so is the Oracle. This should be the killing blow.
It should be it. I mean, 65 supply to 130 right now.
Virtually double.
Literally. And, I mean, as long as he has an observer with the army, there's going to be no stopping this.
You can see on Hurricane's face the defeat. He knows that this game is over.
I guess he's going to play it out nonetheless. I mean,
there's 3 observers with this army. This is not an observer that he could snipe this time. It's not going to happen. Trying to make a tight wall to help things out as best as possible. He does have 2 Colossi, but that Nexus is not going to wall this for very long. Neither will the pylons. Now he's totally overwhelmed. And this is going to be a 2-0 lead for KT Rolster. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Only the Colossus remain now. And they're dead.
And they're gone. GG. Stats takes the win. The KT Rolster fans are vocal here. 1 more win in order to advance along with Spanu. Stats giving some high fives, knowing that that game was basically his ever since he defended his Nexus, defended his natural. From that point on, he had such a lead that losing was almost impossible.
Now it's going to come down to Life. Can Life seal the deal here over Deer?
Now, somewhat of a concern is both these next 2 players for KT Rolster, Life looking a little bit less in form, and Flash against one of the best TDT players we have in Pro League. If they go to an ace match, they do not advance. So
yeah.
they need just 1 win. If either of these players win, they're okay, but if they both lose, that's what Samsung is hoping for here. They have to beat both players. They've got their best chances in Game 3 and Game 4, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree completely.
But this is still a great start.
It's a good start. I'm really curious to see how Light's going to be playing today. He looks in a good place. We've seen a lot in the past, especially since he joined KT. He hasn't been playing very well or even being very happy. Whether something happens in his personal life or he's just not melding well with the team, it's hard to say, but we just didn't see the same from him.
Yeah, definitely not becoming one of the top 4 stars like you would have expected to see him do after he left StarTale and StarTale first became Spenu.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it for our first little segment here. We're going to have about a 3 to 5 minute commercial break before we go into what could be our last map of the regular 2015 season. We'll see you then.